If I had to start up a business on an extremely low budget to get a bit of proof of concept out, to get a bit of brand awareness out, these are the things that I would do. Now, I just caught up with a startup business and explained to them and taught them that the baseline is in some of the things that are done for free. So once you have your business name and you've made sure that your domain is available, you don't even need to go and buy the domain just yet. Go ahead and register 4 things probably. A Google business, so it puts your business on the Google Maps. A lot of the time you won't have an office environment. You'll be starting this business up from home. So it's absolutely okay to register this business to your home address and select that you are a service-based business. Absolutely fine to do that. Fill out your business details, fill out your services, load up your logo, which you can get made almost for free with the use of AI. Pay someone $5 on Fiverr just to get something that looks like it wasn't built and drawn on paint. These days paint is quite good. So that's phase 1. Register a Google listing, get a logo up, update your Google listing, register a Facebook account, make sure the permalink is somewhat similar or exactly the same as your business name. Fill that profile out. Bonus points if you go and start talking about your work. Go back to a few of your recent clients or somebody that you've helped for free where you performed this service. Talk about them before your service, after your service, what you did, show proof of work, and essentially talk about what you did, right? Then obviously register your Instagrams, your LinkedIn's, your YouTube channels, so they all have the same handle. Update that in the Google listing and make sure those links are cross-linking everywhere. Now there's a little bit of homework here, but you can probably get this done within 3 or 4 hours. No problem, maybe half a day. You pick up a domain, you pay your $20 with GoDaddy or Crazy Domains. They're about $11 on Venture IP. So here's the bit where people really start spending big, because you can engage with a digital marketing agency like myself or many others, but a lot of the time you want to get a landing page up. Now, at the end of the day, time is money. And if you have lots of time, then you should be figuring out how to build a website yourself. While I don't recommend using things like Wix or Weebly or Squarespace, they are the easiest and probably the best way to start to get your brand out there on the internet. With Wix, you can pick a template within a few hours, get something that looks quite good. And that way you update your Facebook account so at least somebody can land on almost like a little business resume for you. Oh, one sec, doggy. Even though my consultation today ended up with a substantial WordPress website being developed with potential of a Google ad with SEO, it's in the real estate space. My advice to all startups is exactly the same. And it just comes down to time versus money. When you're starting up a business, a lot of the time you do have the time to figure this stuff out. And my recommendation is you should figure it out, and you should know how the cogs spin in a basic manner. I'm not saying become a coder, start learning how to code websites. But when you do know the basics, when you do finally hire someone, whether it's a developer or an agency, you are somewhat in control of what they're doing, and you can see what they're doing, right? Because when you release control, sometimes you don't know what you're actually paying for, what work is being done, and how that work actually contributes to the greater goal and the results. So we have our social accounts set up, we have some Google listings set up. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to ask friends, families, cousins, sisters, brothers to leave us a Google review. And so once you get a few Google reviews, you're going to find that you might pop up on Google Maps. If your keyword is a localized keyword like some sort of a tradie or a builder or something that where people are looking for something nearby, you'll find that your business will start to get some eyeballs and people will start visiting the Google listing, checking out your reviews, and then hopefully clicking to the website, right, where they're going to visit a DIY website that hopefully you didn't adjust the baseline theme too much. You filled out your details. That's my recommendation. Try not to mess with the baseline template and try to fill in your details, and don't stress over it. Too many people spend way too much time figuring out what their logo is, what their branding is, and while that is extremely important, a lot of the time with the startup, you really just want to get a proof of concept out there, and you want to make sure that it works, get some money flowing into the business. So you've got this landing page, you've got somewhere to drive some traffic. What then? So where do you take that direction? My first recommendation is always to do some basic analysis. Now that sounds really complicated. Really, it's just, let's have a look at some competitors. Who's at the top of Google? Who's running Google Ads? Who's running Facebook ads? There's something called Google Ads Transparency Center. There's something called Ads Library, where you can basically spy on competitors' ads. But then you can also see which competitors are running Google Ads right now. And you can click on their landing pages and realize, okay, this looks like somewhat of an established company. It looks like it's got 100 pages on their website. It's got a lot of blogs. That means that they have digital marketing that's helping them, or they have someone in-house that they're paying a standard wage to do this. So it means they've refined the process. That means that Google ad is somewhat performing. So that landing page and that text that they're using is somewhat performing. Now, I'm telling you this not because the first thing I want you to do is go and fire up a Google ad. They're very hard and you will burn a lot of cash. While that's a really good experience, and I recommend trying it and learning all the buttons and learning all the new things, I'm just telling you to do this so then you understand what works in your space. If these guys are running Facebook ads and that ad has been up for a year, and this guy's running Google ads and that ad's been up for a year, and there's a whole bunch of competitors, it means Google ads can work and Facebook ads can work. And these websites are actively doing things to their website like blogs and backlinks, and they're progressing through the ranks. So it means SEO can work because you want to rank at the top of Google, I imagine. Some keywords you don't, some businesses you don't. And that just gives you a baseline understanding of, okay, here are the digital marketing strategies that my competitors are using that are working. And it's good to have that analysis, because then you can start considering your options and what to try or what to learn. Whether you go ahead and you figure out how to run a Google ad, you figure out how to create a Google Ads landing page, connect up conversion tracking, Facebook ads, whatever it is that you want to try. Try it. Try it first before you hire an agency or someone like me, because then you're more informed. It's going to help the agency get you up to speed, and you'll quickly know if you're speaking to a sales rep or someone that's actually ran ads themselves before. Getting very windy here. Doggies are still running around on the beach. So let's recap. We've got a Google listing, we've got some basic social media profiles happening, we've got a website. Chances are that website won't be indexed in Google because we're only a few days into our whole business, aren't we? We understood. Oh, he can't find the ball. Yes, he can find the ball. We've understood what works in our space. Maybe Google ads work, maybe Facebook ads work. Here is what the competitors are doing. Now what? Now I would go back and create a baseline of trust. A baseline of trust is go back to your success stories and make some success stories. Share your work. These could be failures. It could be hardships, it could be challenges, it could be things that you've learned along the way. Whatever the industry is, there is a client, they came to you with this problem, you suggested this solution, they implemented this solution, and now they are better off, worse off, it doesn't matter. You explain the journey, the challenge, what was done, and the final result. Case studies. I can share some structure, but if you look up, it's a lot of the time it's client came to us with this problem, we did this, it took this long, this is exactly what we did, here were the challenges, here were the difficulties with implementation, this failed, this didn't fail, here's how I would do it differently. 1, make a video. 2, put it as a blog. Transcribe the video, make it into a Reels. There's unlimited ways that you can chop it up and share it across all platforms, including social media, including your website. So load it up as a blog, have it as a little content grid on your site. So anyone that does land on your site can quickly start building a digital relationship with you and start to build trust on your space. Whatever that space is, psychology, psychotherapy, doesn't matter, pest control, right? A couple of videos in and they've spent time watching you, listening to you, they're more likely to have a chance to inquire, work with you, especially if you know your shit, and it's clear that you know your shit. You become an authority in the space, and while they might not be the ones to do business with you, they may recommend you because your little story of success was like their mate who's now in need of some help, and you're having a beer over a barbecue, an Alsace, and he's a pest control who's struggling to find leads, and you've got Eugenius over here talking about his pest control clients and 100 leads per month. Hope that helps.